she smiled with an air of confidence. "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen." She spoke clearly and swiftly took her seat. Luckily, they were still chatting over coffee. Richard had obviously delayed all present for as long as possible. With a warning look, he coughed quietly. "Well, shall we begin?" He gave his most beguiling smile, making Adira cringe. Buffoon. After a long and laborious meeting, Adira escaped for lunch. In desperate need of a drink, she walked past the deli and straight into Mario's. "A large Sauvignon Blanc, please, Mario." She stood at the bar. It was fairly quiet, with only half of the tables taken. Mario was the Italian owner and had often chatted to Adira, another one finding her work interesting. "So, how's your morning been?" He passed over her much-needed glass of wine. "Bloody awful, actually." Adira took a long sip. Hell, that was good. Her stomach rumbled. Just the one drink, then food, she told herself. On reflection, she was telling herself that quite a lot these days. Just the one drink. A warning bell faintly rang inside. "You look tired, Adira." Mario looked genuinely concerned. She loved the way he said her name, making her sound exotic. Adira was of Hebrew origin and meant strong, as her gran was always telling her. Deliberately named so, after being prematurely born at 7 months and fighting for survival. Her parents had willed her strength, peering into the glass incubator, gulping back the emotion as their tiny, fragile daughter lay wired up. All the hopes and prayers had paid off. Adira had come through. Battling against the odds, she'd lived up to her name. "I feel tired," she replied wearily. "Bella, Bella, that's no way to be." Mario shook his head sadly. "I know." Adira swigged back another mouthful of wine. "It isn't." The weekend couldn't come quick enough for Adira. Stretching languidly in her bed on a sunny Saturday morning, she contemplated what to do with a whole free day in front of her. Normally, she would catch up on work, read through briefs, and make copious notes, but not today. The bright sunshine was too inviting to be cooped up indoors. Adira had a sudden impulse to see her gran. Maybe subconsciously it was the radiant spring weather that had prompted her. Edie Wilde had always been the cool grandma of the family, whereas other grandmothers fitted nicely into the archetypal peg of grey hair, support tights and knitting. Edie was way outside the box. Bohemian was how she liked to be described. Embarrassing is what her daughter, Cleo, often called her. It amazed Adira how her gran could have given birth to such a complete opposite to herself. Whereas Edie was flamboyant, quirky, and had a passion for adventure, Cleo was pragmatic, logical, and very matter-of-fact. Interestingly, though, they had both studied medicine. Well, in a fashion. While Cleo was a qualified GP, Edie had ventured into natural healing, believing nature always provided. Since being a tiny girl, Adira could remember how friends and neighbours and anyone recommended would call on Gran for advice to aid an illness, much to Cleo's personal and professional chagrin. Edie would always be there to help, on hand with her vast experience and herbal encyclopedia, mixing up some potion or another. Invariably, they worked. Headaches were eased by lavender balm, rashes vanished with aloe vera gel, insomnia cured by chamomile tea. The list was endless. Adira had loved staying at her gran's. Edie had converted her potting shed into a studio where she saw her patients. It was packed to the rafters with shelves holding multicoloured bottles containing herb extracts and oils. It seemed almost magical to Adira as a child. Her eyes would scan the small wooden room, taking everything in. Edie was also a massage therapist, something else Adira had admired, so much so that she herself had undertaken the necessary